Happy Families podcast. It's the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now.
I remember you sitting down, going through What Colour is My Parachute, the book, to see what career you should have. and it said to call people and ask them what they said your strengths were or what they saw as your natural abilities. And everybody that you rang or spoke to said communication.
And now here's the stars of our show, my mum and dad.
G'day, this is Dr. Justin Coulson, the author of 6 books about raising happy families, and I'm really nervous about this. Mother's Day is coming up on the weekend, Sunday, for Australian and most of the world that celebrates Mother's Day. I think it's pretty well universal. And on Tuesday, we had a chat with Kylie's mum about what it was like to raise Kylie. Today, I'm the one that's in the hot seat, or maybe it's my mum in the hot. I don't know. I'm feeling like I'm the one that needs to be nervous. By the way, I'm here with Kylie. Kylie, I think I'm going to get you to run the interview.
Oh, well, I'm ready. I've got some good questions to draw out all the goss about you growing up.
All right. And we've got Mum on the line. Hey, Mum.
Hey, Justin. Hi, Kylie.
Hi.
Hi.
Now, a couple of things. First of all, I know you've pulled over on the side of the road because you're always busy and it's hard to have a conversation with you ever. But can you just do me one favour while Kylie chats with you about whatever she's going to talk to you about? Can you promise me that you're not going to take any other calls and say, just hang on, someone's calling? Can you just ignore?
Well, I was just thinking then I might just start the car up and drive somewhere else to get to a quiet space so I can stand up and talk, because I talk better standing up, but I'm not going to.
Stay in the car, stay on the side of the road, because we're doing this now.
Right.
So, Kylie, what do you want to know?
So, Mum, I've got 3 keywords.
Uh-oh.
I'm just going to give you a word and I want you to tell me what comes to mind when I say it. So when you think of Justin and I say the word Sarah Lee.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
What comes to mind?
Well, what comes to mind is the fact that Justin loves the New York cheesecakes, and we used to buy them because we lived around the corner from the Sarah Lee factory, and I used to have them stockpiled in our freezer. But what Justin would do is he would go down and get his favourite cheesecake out. He'd eat it, and then he would absolutely carefully put the packaging all back together with the seal on the top of the foil and close it over and put it back in the freezer. So if we were having people over, and I'd sometimes do frozen desserts for people coming over.
Unforgivable. What sort of a mother are you? Gosh.
Anyway, I'd run down and grab out the Sarah Lee cheesecake and it would go zoom, and it was like an empty box. It would just go. So, yeah, that was Sarah Lee.
Mind you, this is all in primary school.
Yeah.
I was a latchkey kid. I would walk home about a K from school, let myself in the afternoon, and usually my best mate Andy Lucas and I would jump on our bikes and ride around the neighbourhood until Mum got home when it was dark.
I just thought about the freezer when you decided to have a garage sale and decided to plug in your stereo and unplugged the freezer.
Yeah.
And the $3 you made on the garage sale did not make up for the $500 worth of wasted food because you didn't plug the PowerPoint back in.
No, that's right. So I had this garage sale. I wanted to sell all of my childhood belongings that I no longer needed because I was 12 and I was too big for them.
So I hope we're getting a sense of who Justin is and who his mum is.
I was a good kid. Really. But the cheesecakes, Mum didn't just have one cheesecake in the freezer. This is the important thing. Mum would go and buy them wholesale from the factory seconds at the Sarah Lee warehouse around the corner.
They were all perfect.
So not only was Mum giving frozen desserts for dessert, but she was giving factory seconds. Can you believe?
I was not. They were all perfect.
What sort of a person does this?
Little problem with one of the boxes.
Unbelievable! I can't. No wonder I turned out the way I did.
Of course.
Well, I don't even have to give 3 words. We've had a whole conversation with one prompt.
Stream of consciousness.
But what I would do is I wouldn't just eat one cheesecake. I mean, Mum would open the freezer and there would be 10 or 12 cheesecake boxes in there.
But then your dad got you back, remember?
Yeah.
Remember when your dad got you back?
Yeah. So Dad used to run a milk truck, and I opened up the glove box once, and there was this chocolate block in there. And
Your favourite chocolate.
And I pulled it out, and it was empty. The chocolate had fallen out, and he'd
meticulously done it. He'd done that deliberately. He put it all back together so it looked like a perfectly brand new chocolate.
Yep.
Knowing that you were going to open it and you were going to get exactly what you'd done to us.
Totally got me. All right, what's your next prompt, honey?
Okay. Surfing versus swim squad, Mum.
Oh, please. No, that's a heartbreak. I want to cry.
Oh, sorry, Mum. Why
I'm
do you...
so sad.
What happened?
Oh, well, I'm going to cry. It was so sad. Justin used to swim of a morning and his dad would take him at 4:30 every morning. Oh, I'm so sad. And we found out Justin's squad trainer, his swimming trainer, rang us, his coach, and said, can you, I think you need to know something. And we said, what? And he said, well, Chris is dropping Justin off of a morning. He's coming in, he's swimming a lap and he's getting out at the other end and he's sneaking off again. And what we found out was that Justin had teed up with his mate to meet him and go surfing every morning. So his dad would get out of bed, take him to swimming. We would pay for his coaching and squad training. And then we found out that he had been duping us and not going to squad training. Yeah. But the sad thing was, it still hurts that we made a really wrong decision. We were so upset and we didn't know how to handle it properly that you had saved and you were going to that Billy Joel concert and we sold the tickets. We said, you can't go. And it still hurts me to think of it. And remember years later, we bought Billy Joel tickets and we took you to the concert, but that was such an unjust way to handle that situation. Yeah.
Yeah. Billy Joel.
I'm really sad about it.
Billy Joel was my my idol, and I remember being so crushed. But it didn't make me want to behave any better.
But it made me so sad. It still hurts to think of what I did, and it was just the wrong way to go about it.
Yeah, I wasn't a great teenager.
No, you're challenging, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that any parent would want to have a teenage boy like me.
Oh, Justin, you're a look. I don't want to use the word good because how do you frame good? But you had good intentions. You made great choices, and sometimes you made silly choices, and we were still and still are learning. Yeah.
I think one of the things I love about this conversation, Mum, is just the beautiful mother heart that you have. Obviously, I'm the daughter-in-law. I've come into the family 20 years later, and have just been enveloped by that love. And as I've watched you over the years, shepherd your children and help them through the challenges that life presents for each of us, I've just been overwhelmed with your ability to just love. It's something that I feel so grateful for in our lives, and we've watched you over the years just support us in whatever venture we've decided to do, and that has meant that lots of times we've lived miles and miles away from you as we've kind of traveled the east coast of Australia as a family. And each time you found us, you've supported us. You've come and seen us. You've spent time. You love our children like they're your own, and we're just so grateful for the part that you play in our lives.
Thank you, and it's the delight of my life to be around you and the family, and to see both of you so committed to raising your children in the best way you can and making that your priority. It means everything to me. That's all that matters.
So, Mum, last key word, appetite.
I know where you're going with this. All right, Mum, why don't you tell everyone about my school lunches when I was a teenager, and I was doing swimming squad.
Voracious appetite. What I can remember, apart from the fact that everywhere we went, we had to choose a buffet because Justin cost the price of the rest of the family if we just went a la carte. But I just remember when we went up to Queensland, and I think it was Sanctuary Cove, we had a beautiful barbecue buffet lunch there, and Justin they were minute steaks, but he had 14 of them. To the point that the chef on the barbecue actually said, "Last one, mate." He actually stopped you. He said, "No, last one, say no."
And I was upset. It was a buffet. I was like, I should be allowed to eat as many of these as I want. And
14.
He stopped me after 14 steaks.
14. Remember the buffet breakfast that we would have? I remember on Dunk Island, then we went on a catamaran and you had eaten so much. I You would do, yeah.
I just provided burley for the fish all day.
Breakfast did not stay. Yeah.
There was another one at Ayers Rock where you guys left me at breakfast, and I think I stayed for about another hour and a half and just kept on eating.
Yeah, exactly. There's no point staying with you at a buffet. Just keep on going.
But my school lunches, do you remember how many bread rolls that I would eat at lunch? I used to take 12 bread rolls to school for lunch every day. And do you remember I would come home and I would eat a lettuce?
Yep. Because I told you that my mum said that my mum had bad acne growing up, and obviously many years ago, she would have been 92 now, and she was told to eat a lettuce a day and it cleared it up. So I think that may have been something behind it when you were a teenager. You thought you'd eat a lettuce a day.
I don't remember that. I just remember watching a bodybuilding video one time, and this guy would eat a chicken and a lettuce, and I was so scrawny, and so I would eat an entire lettuce. And of course, for breakfast, a minimum of 14 Weet-Bix.
Well, I remember on our first date, Mum, he took me to charcoal chicken, and we brought an entire chicken.
Charcoal Charlie's?
No, we were at Terrigal. We were hanging out at Terrigal because that was a fancy place.
And he ate a whole chicken.
Well, I had the drumstick. I had a drumstick.
And he ate the rest.
He demolished it.
I know. And look at him. What's your secret, Justin?
I think I just move a lot. I reckon if ADHD had been a thing in the 1980s, I probably would have had that diagnosis. What do you reckon?
You're constantly moving. Your mind is very active. But you've diagnosed me with that as well.
I think it runs in the family. Hey, we're going to come back in just a sec, and we're going to ask you a couple of slightly more deep and meaningful questions about motherhood, because it's Mother's Day on Sunday, and we want to celebrate you and get your take on what it is to be a great mum.
It's the Happy Families Podcast.
Are screens creating tension at home? Tweens, Teens and Screens is a webinar to guide families to healthy, safe super screen solutions. Buy it today at happyfamilies.com.au/shop.
It's the Happy Families Podcast, the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now. And as a celebration for Mother's Day coming up this weekend, we decided to interview your mum today.
Hey, Mum.
Hey.
So Kylie's got a couple of questions for you that I think are really important as we get into the heart of what being a mum is all about.
Mum, can you tell me, what is one of your favourite memories of Justin growing up?
I think I love the way he was with my mum. They had a really special connection, and to me that was beautiful. Mum just loved Justin. She looked after him while I went to uni when I was doing my first degree when I had Justin, and she just adored him and he adored her. Just to see that connection whenever they got together was just beautiful. She was very protective of him.
Yeah, number one grandchild and number one nana.
Yeah.
What did Justin do in his childhood that you can see was a precursor for who he is now?
Oh my gosh. Talk. What
are you saying?
Talk, and talk.
No, but really, what are you saying?
You're a chatterbox. I remember you sitting down, going through What Colour Is My Parachute, the book, to see what career you should have. and it said to call people and ask them what they said your strengths were or what they saw as your natural abilities, and everybody that you rang or spoke to said communication. You are an absolute communicator, and that's when you went into radio.
And I was so offended by that, though. I was like, anyone can talk. How could that be a strength? Anyone can talk.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I've got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What were your first impressions of Kylie?
My first impression of Kylie was marry her. I just knew when I saw Kylie that there was just it was a beautiful match. I just knew that she was good for you, and I had that feeling of comfort and knowing that that was a no-brainer. When you came in at 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I think it was at 1:30.
Yeah. And told your dad and I that you'd proposed to her, it was almost like, yeah, okay. It wasn't a surprise. We just knew it. It was wonderful, and she's been an absolute delight, and, we've got on really well ever since you've been with her.
Kylie, what was your first impression of Mum's first impression of you? Did you think that Mum felt that way?
I thought she hated me.
Really?
Yes,
Really?
we sat down at the dinner table and she actually had the conversation with you about my colour What's the colour
What
of
colour
my,
is my parachute?
And I was sitting there, I'm going, this is a really intense conversation. Does she want me to get involved in this conversation?
Oh, because Mum was putting pressure on me to get on with my career and get on with my life at the table with you on our first meeting. And it was just this really...
It's not like me.
No.
And I was like, this is a really personal conversation. I felt really like out of place. And your mum just kind of talked as though I was just part of the conversation, but it was really like confronting for me.
It was pretty intense.
Yeah.
All right, what else do you want to know?
I tend not to have filters and boundaries, I'm afraid. I just sort of include everybody in everything. Yeah.
Well, I know that when we talked about it later, you just said that it just felt like a natural conversation to have with me at the table, but it was so foreign to me. It just, yeah. So what is one thing that you miss about being a mum, you know, in the trenches with all of those little ones? Do you miss anything?
Well, I don't know if Justin shared that I had Justin and then twin girls, and then we had another boy, and then we had twin girls again. So we've got boy, twin girls, with gaps in between, 3, 4 and 5 year gaps. But it was just full on because I had Justin 14 and twin babies, and running him to swim squad and music lessons and the children doing everything. It was, I think, special to have the children around and, you know, seeing them all asleep in bed at night. I mean, that's always a joy for a parent.
In more ways than one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just enjoy every phase of motherhood. I'm loving my life right now and enjoying, meeting and having dinner with you guys together. If Justin's flying in and flying out somewhere and, you know, or catching up. And I just enjoy the conversations now as adults being one-on-one with my children, with our children.
Yeah, that gives every parent of little children every parent who's struggling right now a little bit of hope that it will get better, because it does. It takes 20 years, but it does get better.
Yeah, it was just a blur. I
think we're still in the blur a bit.
Yeah, we're living in the blur at the moment.
Yeah.
So, Mum, what do you know now that you wish you knew back then?
To listen and be emotionally available for my children, rather than my will, we've got to do this now, this is better for you, I know more. I think being there to listen, particularly to validate their feelings, would probably be the big learning thing for me, to actually go, this is somebody trying to express themselves, and sometimes that expression might be in a way that wasn't comfortable with, you know, but it was just another form of saying, hear me, hear me, hear me. And I think probably one of the other big learnings is to try and nurture the natural abilities that they want to follow, try and help them work with them on the path as they show a disposition towards wanting to do something. Having had twins and wanting to dovetail time, they would both do ballet, they'd both do dancing, they'd both do music. The first set of twins, I did that. The second set, I allowed them to diversify and watch what they loved to do. And obviously it was double the load to get them to different things, but to just let them follow their path and to validate and let them know that, you know, I believed in them, that they were okay.
That ties in with some other really good advice, and that is that you get better at parenting the more kids you have.
Definitely.
So everyone who's listened to the podcast, go and have 6, because you'll get really good at it by the time you have your last one.
I think there has to be a reflection, though, you know, really stepping back and being observant, and looking at, okay, what works and what doesn't. And, you know, I suppose obviously being the observer in a supermarket when you're watching a child screaming and wanting attention and the parent just trying to shut them down for obvious reasons, trying to understand this child's actually wanting to say something and be heard, not shut down. Yeah.
It's really great counsel.
So my last question for you today, Mum, is just what was one of the hardest lessons you had to learn as a mum?
That each of our children have their own path and they have the right to choose that.
Wow.
That it's not up to me.
Wow. I've got 2 questions for you, Mum.
Mm-hmm.
And this is loaded, and obviously it's a public conversation, but do I make you proud?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm delighted with how you look at you've taken life seriously, and you've taken what you do seriously, and you want to make a difference. And that, to me, is the greatest gift that you can give. And I, as a mother, to have you as a child, as my son, to know that you are making a very conscious, and always have a conscious effort with your family, which is the most important thing, with you and Kylie, working on your family to be the best that you can be as parents, and then to know that the abilities and gifts and knowledge and incredible abilities that you have, that you can take that out and make a difference to so many other people and to their children. What a legacy. So I'm very proud of you, Justin.
It's funny. I'm in my mid to late 40s now, and I still care about whether or not I make my parents proud or not. And I'm grateful for you sharing that. I've got one last question. It's a pretty tough one, Mum.
Oh no, I've been in tears twice already. Give me another one. Thanks.
Well, this is the last question, but I think that it's really important that I ask it, and it's very hard to ask it, and I know it'll be hard to answer it. Around about 7 or 8 years ago, my grandma, your mum, left us. She passed away, and you've already said that I had a very, very close connection with her. I dedicated my first book to her, and I loved my Nan. What did you learn about parenting from Nan, from your mum?
Unconditional love. That no matter what we did, Mum was our fiercest advocate. When you know that your parents got your back, like they have got you no matter what, and no matter what you decide, there is a strong sense of security to go out into the world and do what you want. And my mum and dad gave me that great belief in me. And always, whatever I want to do, they backed me on it.
Hey, Mum, it's been awesome talking to you.
Thanks. I'll go and dry the tears. And, thanks. Thanks for letting me share a few things.
Yeah, go and get busy and take all those calls that probably came through while we were talking to you.
Yep.
Happy Mother's Day, Mum.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day to you too, Kylie.
Thanks.
We really hope that you've enjoyed the podcast and enjoyed listening to us chat with my awesome mum. If you do enjoy the podcast, your ratings and reviews at Apple Podcasts make all the difference for other people finding out about it. Please leave those 5-star ratings and reviews for us so that we can help make other people's families happier. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rulon from Bridge Media, and Craig Bruce is our executive producer. If you'd like more info about making your family happier, you can get all the data you need, all the info you need at happyfamilies.com.au.